My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, next tweet. Let's pause this. Boris Johnson tell Time Radio, quote, I personally don't think he, that's Trump, intended to overthrow the Constitution, and what actually happened was the peaceful transfer of democratic power from one administration to another, and that's what, my God, and that's what should happen. But we're seeing different things. If you listen to Midas Touch, that YouTube channel, these are legal lawyers. Okay, they know the stuff and they know how to get those documents because they are lawyers. They have access to certain, I guess, website to download those documents that is being filed in the court. They go after, they talk about some of the things that has been filed, what Jack Smith has filed in DC and all of that. They have concrete evidence of things. This guy, and when he's talking, you see he's unhinged, and he has people in, the same thing that I be talking about in the UK, the recycle system. They have their people in certain places to protect them. Okay, so when you look at this type of thing that's happening, we are at a brink. These people are ready to completely toss out the Constitution. So remember, BoJo is American, by the way. He was born in New York City. Okay, so he's, I don't know. And you see who came to the RNC, the Republican National Committee, when they did that thing. You had him, Boris, that other Liz Truss, and that other guy who came to support him. So you sort of have an idea who's really pushing for the other side to destroy the Constitution. All right, you have an idea of that. And then the way they did it is that the thing that's going with Didi, Epstein, these are all of that where they try to normalize it, and then they use you to make sure to get other people involved into that psychotic, crazy type of behavior. And then when it's time for them to take over, and then they have you on camera doing unethical things, and they use it against you and said, you better do this or this is going to come out. And I think they got Trump too in that aspect. He's one of those, the way that I see Trump, not that I'm making any excuse, depending on how you take what I said. They got him in certain ways. Now, I really don't, you know what? Let me not go into that. Let's listen to this, okay? So this one is 4 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't know if YouTube will black this, but I'll try to put some blur on top of it. If you could see, you could see. All right? Let's listen. That's from CNN. I'm done with this. I don't want to read too much. Oh, so that's him here. What is he saying here? Time Radio. Okay, so there's him talking about it. I didn't even know it was there. And then I'll show you the CNN video. Let's listen to this.
I happen to believe that when Donald Trump says that had he been president in 2022, there would have been no Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Oh, please.
My view is that that is a credible assertion.
That in his first year in office, Donald Trump, in his first meeting in Hamburg, Germany, with Vladimir Putin, having been briefed by his then Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, on how tough to be with Putin in that meeting, that in that meeting, a year before the sort of notorious meeting, the summit that they had in Helsinki, he asked Vladimir Putin, reportedly, according to the New York Times, should I be arming Ukraine? And Putin said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And Tillerson came out and in real time told the other advisors standing there, we have a real problem. So there's a pattern here of conversations when he was president, certainly in Helsinki. And of course, since, very unusual for these kinds of conversations to be going on with a major adversary. According to anybody who's ever covered national security.
Donald Trump. You're quite warm about Donald Trump in this.
Yeah. So, but I disagree. So
Let's just say Donald Trump will just turn a blind eye. Okay, this is why the other side want him to be in power, because they do not want the full force of American to go after them. Why do you think, those outside groups are funding the NRA and all of that? I've told you that a long time ago. They want Americans to kill each other because they do not want to face American in the battlefield. This is the goal of the NRA and other laws that the Republican are doing, because the Republican, it's so many groups, okay, who wants power, who wants control. They put their heads together. The only thing that they agree upon is to remove the Constitution and then for them to take control of the United States. And then after that, they'll help the other groups who's doing their craziness outside of the U.S., okay, to do their things. And I think Putin, in my humble opinion, is waiting to see if Donald Trump will get in power so he could do his craziness. Because right now, he's not winning the war. And you see, when he was in power, they felt like, their bases, whatever the things, the tactic that they were using within the government system, the people that Russia is paying to do their bidding for them. Okay, what was that? There was one, when was that? One of the 4th of July. I think some American went to Russia talking with Putin on the table. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So whatever it is that's working for Putin, they got some American to do his bidding for him in the U.S. And he thought he got everything under control. So he's going for it. Okay, so if Trump gets in power, forget the European. Trump is going to turn a blind eye. He already told us what he's going to do. Okay, he came to support Trump and the RNC this year. And if the Republicans get in power, the same way that I treat the UK, where I don't trust them, is the same way anybody outside of the US could say, don't trust America, if the GOP get in power. Okay? Because they are two-faced. And this is what really messing up the face of America and around the globe. Okay? There's two groups in the US. Okay, those who wants to do the good thing, who's compassionate, who's willing to help when other countries need help and things like that, you name it, either financially, with food, shelter and kind of thing. There's this group here. And then the GOP is the other one where, they're literally telling us, toss you out, put kids in a cage and treat you like animals, say anything that they want about any group and all of that. So this other group is what sometimes when that give the lack of trust for the U.S. When the GOP is in power, the people outside of the U.S. see us as, this crazy individual, a backstabber kind of thing. But when the Democrats are in power, this is the other group that's a bit more compassionate and things like that. And this group, majority of time, they don't vote. And I hope now they pay attention to see that their vote do count. Because if people did not go vote in 2020, you see how easy Trump would have easily still the election. He had his people ready to do the thing for him. But there were too many people. I hope this solidified the reason why everybody should go vote. All right, but let's continue listening to his BS. I went off a little.
I disagree with him strongly about
Ukraine.
No, on the because I think that's an open question where he is on Ukraine. But on the January the 6th stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
Does that put him beyond the pale, actually?
I really, you know, no, it doesn't, because in my view, whatever he intended, and I personally don't think he intended to, you know, overthrow the Constitution. And what actually happened?
But Trump said they want to get rid of it. They said it. They say it. When you look at the Jack Smith filing at the DC case, things that they find, well, it hasn't been proven in court. Let's just say that. As far as we moving forward now until Trump is tried for that, okay, depend on that, what's going on, and he has his people, the Supreme Court, all of them behind him. But they show where, they discuss where he was sitting in whatever dining room by himself and with some group of people. Well, you know, when they warning him of what going on regarding his vice president, it's like he doesn't care. He doesn't care as long as, you know, he did what he wanted him to do. The vice president, you know, Pence, did what he wanted to do, but Pence didn't do it. And then he tweeted out things for people to go after him. Okay, so Trump, his intention seems pretty clear based on what was filing by Jack Smith. All right, they seize his phone and they get Twitter to give the government his private message and all of that. So let's continue.
Happened was the peaceful transfer of democratic power from one administration to another, and that's what should happen.
And it's got to happen in November.
And has got to happen in November. Has got to happen in November. But on Ukraine,
it does. I just learned this past election for the UK when the transfer of power happened right away. Okay, after the election, you lose. Guess what? You out of there. The next one. But in the US, there's a period from November 6th of this year till January. What is it? Is it January 10th or something like that? Where this is where the transition goes. Okay, so there's a time, couple months in between after the election. Okay, so that's the difference with the US and the UK. I mean, they have a different type of system, that monarchy system, but in terms of the election, what just happened, and I just learned that about the UK. It happened automatically right after the election. But for the US, there's I would say, grace period or something. Let's continue.
Look, I think that some of the pessimism is overdone. And I think that Donald actually, he gave the javelins to the Ukrainians where the Democrats didn't, right? When I was foreign secretary, he kicked out those Russian spies, 60 of them.
So he's
he can surprise very much on the upside. And as I say in Unleashed, when you look at some of the stuff he did when I was on the foreign side, you know, bombing the hell out of Bashar al-Assad, when again we'd done nothing, the Democrats had done nothing. When Assad used chemical weapons against his own people, Trump really got aerated about that and did something.
I'm sorry, I don't want to go too deep into that because I'm not too technical into that aspect. I remember when Obama was president, when he wanted to go after Assad, he did his best with his capability, with the power that was given to him. But remember, the Republicans were against some of the things that Obama wanted to do. And then you have the Russians who were supporting Assad. Keep that in mind. When President Obama was in office, everything that he wanted to do, the Republicans were against it. Just look, do your own research, just look how the Russian were and how the GOP were when Obama was in office. They pretty much were aligned. GOP and Russia were aligned on the same thing. But when Obama is for something, they were against it. And I remember Russian were helping Assad to, defeat the American. All right, so just go look more deeper into it. I'm just giving you on top of my head what I remember happening during that time. That's too much. Let me just finish listening to him because right now it's exactly 5 o'clock. I need to wake up my son. Let's finish listening to him.
And with the Iranians, he was particularly tough on them. I mean, look, I happen to believe that when Donald Trump says that had he been president in 2022, there would have been no Russian invasion of Ukraine, my view is that that is a credible assertion.
Oh, please.
I really do think that's credible.
When literally said he would just turn a blind eye. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a few. Who's that? Let's pause here. Former VP explain why Donald should never be president. Okay, this is his vice president. This one is shorter. Let's finish listening to that. And you know what? I'm gonna pause. Let me go wake up my son. It's 5 o'clock. He needs to go to practice. All right, this video is gonna have 2 parts because it's more than an hour. Let's listen to what Vice President Pence has to say regarding Donald Trump. Let's listen.
I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. But I chose the Constitution, and I always will. Anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. And anyone who asks someone else to put themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States again. But what the president maintained that day, and frankly has said over and over again over the last 2.5 years, is completely false. I dismissed it out of hand, but sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers who kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear. I want the American people to know.
I truly respect him for that. I remember when Trump announced him as the VP, and I think he was the governor of... What governor was he? Let me look that up. Okay, apparently it was Indiana. So he was the governor of Indiana. And I had, the way the Republican rule on certain things, it's completely opposite of a lot of Democrats. So when he announced him as the governor, I had, very skeptical about him. So for him to be in the brink of things, his life was in danger, and he decided to pick the Constitution over Donald Trump, despite he sent a mob to go after him. I respect him for that. Okay, I respect him for that. But this is someone I will not vote for. Okay, because their values in terms of things, the way they vote on certain things, it doesn't match me. Okay, but as a human being, I think I have to respect him for that. Okay, so go back to this. Now, this is the one that I wanted to play. It's pretty long. I don't know if I'm going to stop in between. This is regarding January 6th, and this is CNN. I'm sorry, all of the videos you're going to be seeing, I will be putting a blur in front of it due to copyright, okay? But listen to the audio. If there's a music, guess what? I have to draw down that music as well. I have to put my own music, but hopefully you have a fine ear to distinct the music with what is being said, okay? Because YouTube is really after me.
On January 6th, the U.S. Capitol was breached by a pro-Trump mob, hoping to stop the certification of the 2020 election. Hours of chaos ensued. By the end of the day, 4 people were dead. Videos captured by journalists and bystanders show how it happened. Around 1 p.m., Congress is in session at the U.S. Capitol, and lawmakers have begun the process of certifying President-elect Joe Biden's Electoral College win.
President and Vice President of the United States.
About 2 miles away, President Donald Trump is on stage, holding a rally outside the White House. After days of encouraging his followers to be in Washington on January 6th,
We're going to try and give our Republicans the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country.
after the rally, Trump supporters make their way toward the Capitol, where others are already beginning to clash with police.
Pull them this way!
This video is shot at 1:13 p.m. on the western side of the Capitol, right by the scaffolding set up for Inauguration Day. At 1:30 p.m., the Cannon House building and the James Madison Memorial Building are evacuated after reports of a suspicious package. Meanwhile, rioters are breaking through barriers and windows at the U.S. Capitol. On the Senate floor, footage shows Senator James Lankford giving a speech when the senators are told the mob is inside the Capitol.
Protesters are in the building.
At the same time, a Huffington Post reporter records rioters walking up the stairs toward the Senate floor, where
If you go to some of my old videos around that time and Pt2, this instance, I spoke about that. How he deterred the rioters from going to where the senators were. And he's one of the heroes. And I think I have him in one of the cover of my thumbnails. Okay, so let's continue.
Doors to the chamber are still not secure. The Capitol Police officer leads the mob in the opposite direction.
You see?
At 2:30 p.m., Vice President Mike Pence is evacuated from the Senate. And on the House floor, video captures an armed standoff. Members of Congress hide under their seats.
Shit.
The mob roams through Statuary Hall.
This is crazy. I mean, looking at it again, this is crazy. We were that close. And I hope our history book explained this very well for our grandkids. This is great. I can't believe this happened in my lifetime. I cannot believe it. And thank God I had the YouTube channel. I sort of document certain part of it and my own perspective. Now I go on Pt2 around that time, 2020, 2021, I spoke about it.
They gain access to the Senate floor, and some even find their way into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. Around the same time, Capitol Police ask for additional law enforcement assistance.
And that's where Trump should have come in and, bring, send people to, how do they call it? The National Guard or something. He just turned a blind eye. Let's continue. Because that's his job. I don't think, okay, I don't want to go into technical aspect of things, but let's continue.
At this point, rioters have made their way into almost every corner of the Capitol. At 2:48 p.m., the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, announces a citywide curfew starting at 6 p.m. At 3:13 p.m., more than 2 hours after the mob began pushing past police barriers, Trump tweets, asking rioters to remain peaceful. Less than 10 minutes later, a 35-year-old woman named Ashley Babbitt is reported to be in critical condition after being shot in the chest outside the speaker's lobby. Police told CNN they immediately provided medical assistance, but Babbitt later dies of her wounds. The officer involved is on leave pending an investigation. Several hours after rioters breached the Capitol, President Trump's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, tweets that Trump has dispatched the National Guard to D.C. As police clear the Capitol building, President-elect Joe Biden speaks from Delaware.
This is not dissent. It's disorder. It's chaos. Borders on sedition. And it must end now.
Minutes after Biden's speech, Trump tweets a video telling the rioters to go home.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace.
As the 6 p.m. curfew inches closer, rioters are pushed out of the area.
We have been shouting, move back.
At 6:27 p.m., congressional leaders announce they will proceed with counting.
Mr. Cruz. Mr. Daines.
By 4 a.m. on January 7th, almost 15 hours after proceedings began, Congress certifies the election.
Joseph R. Biden Jr. of the state of Delaware has received 306 votes. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 232 votes. The chair declares the joint session dissolved.
This is crazy. This is crazy. And soon after the election and the inauguration and everything, you know what did they say, the Republican? They're gonna run for offices where they will, right at the foundation of things, when you vote, when each counties have certain, I don't know the name of the position, to certify the election in their communities or their district, they will not do that. Okay, and then on top of that, you have Republican states who's creating roadblocks after roadblocks. So we are at a dire situation right now. God, this is a baggage for you. You do what you need to do because this is insane. This is insane. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I'm not gonna read any more comment. I spent too much time on that. Okay, Harris Walz. What is that? Okay, so this is an event that's taking place. Where is that? White people at Harris Walz event in Arizona, dancing to Beeyawnsay. Okay, to Beeyawnsay, I guess. Beeyawnsay was not on my bingo card. Okay, white people at Harris Walz event in Arizona, dancing to Beeyawnsay was not on my bingo card. I'm not gonna put the volume up, just watch. Okay, I'll obviously filter it a little bit. Okay, I muted because I'm gonna get flagged for it anyway, so might as well just look at them dancing. Like I said, after the 2020 election, it's oh my God, it's black, brown, Hispanic, some Hispanic, and some minorities and Native American who saved democracy. Right now, it needs everybody. Okay, to make it work, because the same people who's trying to remove right from people, if Trump get in office, the kind of government they want to put, they will not be able to stand it for 1 minute. Okay, they're the one who's gonna cry foul, and then the type of government that Trump wants to run, nobody's safe. Not even those who are on his side. They're not even safe. Okay, Grandma doing it, please. She gave us the 2-step. There's the laugh here. I absolutely love this. Same. All right, so I just show a minor thing here and there, but and no music due to copyright. All right, next tweet. So there's this here. That's regarding the storm, the hurricane that's coming in Florida. It's probably in Florida now. So I saw this and I thought I'd share it with you. There's so much disinformation that's going on. And literally, Trump and Vance, they open their mouth and say whatever. And putting people's life at risk. So hopefully you could learn something in here. And that's why I put this. Let's listen.
Show you why it's almost impossible for anyone to evacuate. And it will piss you off.
Hi, meteorologist Serena Arnold. Evacuation does not necessarily mean you need to leave the state or drive hundreds of miles. Sometimes making a 5 or 10 mile difference will make all the difference in having hurricane impact affect you. The most deadly part of a hurricane is the storm surge, and right now around the Tampa area, they're forecasting 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. If you live at, say, 20 feet of elevation or lower, these are the people that need to evacuate.
Elevation meaning the height of your area. Okay, and I remember the last time there was a storm that hit New York, all right, around the New York East Coast area. They changed the building code in terms of especially people who lives in front of waterfront. I think the first floor have to be at a certain height where the finished product, the finished material have to be somewhat waterproof, so if it gets flooded, it doesn't have to damage the property or something like that. Look it up. These are things that people need to look at when they are buying homes in terms of the elevation of the area that they are in. If you live, let's say, at the bottom of a hill, you know definitely your house, if there's a huge rain, it doesn't have to be a storm, but there's a lot of rain that's coming, you know you're gonna be flooded because you are at the bottom of the hill. But if you're on top of the hill, most likely you will not be as flooded as the one at the bottom of the hill, because water flows from high to low. So these are some of the things when people are buying house need to look at in terms of elevation type of things. So there are building codes and zoning codes that determine how you could build your house to prevent water damage and things like that. But anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so let's finish.
And sometimes that means all you need to do is drive inland by about 5 miles. Don't know your elevation? Go to whatismyelevation.com and type it in. Then compare that with the storm surge forecasts at nhc.noaa.gov. If your elevation is at, close, or below the forecast storm surge, you just need to move inland. And once again, sometimes this is only by a couple of miles.
Alright, so this is proper information here. I'm not gonna go in the comment. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, this video might have part 1 and part 2. While I took a break and I saw this, and I added to the, oh no, not that one. Okay, so there's this here regarding Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has given a $5 million donation to the relief efforts for Hurricanes Helene and Milton, Feeding America has announced. I'll leave the link if you guys want to read it. All right, I'll leave it here if you guys want to read it. But let's focus on some of the tweet here. Regardless of how one feels about her music or public persona, this contribution highlights the power of using wealth and influence for a meaningful cause. It's important to recognize when individuals, particularly those in the public eye, step up to assist in time of crisis. And I spoke about him and I'm saying him. I spoke about her in other aspect as well, where she donated to her people who were working for her. One of the tours that she did, and she gave them bonuses. Everyone who was literally working for her, she gave them bonuses. Okay, I hope every single penny goes toward actually helping out victims of these tragic events. Road access, I hear, is out of most importance, and of course cleaning and rebuilding efforts. Okay, awesome of her to help out. Taylor Swift donate $5 million to support relief effort for Hurricane Helene and Milton, as confirmed by Feeding America. Okay, you mean she just purchased advertising legacy media who talks about her nonstop? Okay, so what? At least that money is going towards something. Oh my God, people will always have something to complain about. Okay, it's $5 million more than whatever the government is willing to give, because as far as I'm concerned, the GOP don't want to save their own people. Their own people. If this doesn't tell you who these people are for, they're not for Americans. They literally want to destroy America for the other group to, make your own conclusion. Right? And Donald Trump still hates her, as he does all successful women and pet owners. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. This is the one that I just saw and added. I think it's Hamilton regarding Met Gala. Okay, co-chair Sir Lewis Hamilton speak at the 2025 Met Gala press conference, announcing the superfine tailoring black style theme. Yeah, I like this. Fits him. Yeah, it fits him very well. Okay, let me just read what's there. Immaculate as always. This is amazing. I can't wait. Is there a video? Live sounds. It looks so immaculate. It's been a long time coming. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Oh, I thought that was it. Okay, I have this pretty much is my last tweet, and then the other one is a prayer.
But I'll tell you that one day we're working with.
Okay, let me pause this, and then was it the last one after this will be a prayer from one of the squad. This I was watching before I started recording, and I said, you know what, let me put it, because her husband is, what's his name? I think it's Boris something. Boris, I think he's from, what country he's from? He's an actor. Do I have it? Let me see something. Yeah, let me look for her husband. I think it's Boris something. There he is. Boris Kodjoe. All right. How do you pronounce it? Kodjoe. He's an Austrian-German actor and former fashion model. All right. So that's him here. I think they have 2 kids. Boris Frederick Cecile Nati. Oh my God, that's a long name. Is an Austrian-born German actor and former model based in the United States. His breakthrough role was a sports courier agent, Damon Carter, at the Showtime drama Soul Food. Okay, so that's him, and I think they have 2 children or something like that. Yeah, Nicholas Novoda Kodjoe, Sophie Te Nakili Kodjoe. All right, so that's him. Let's look at some images. His family is so gorgeous. There's him here. Okay, so there's that. Their family, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. There they are here. When they were much younger. His son. Oh, his son has his eyes. Or the wife's eyes. The wife has like hazel eyes or something. There they are here. I don't know. Is that his brother? Kodjoe and Nicole Eric Parker the fifth. They give a couple. Okay. I'm just looking before I go into her video. There they are, touching his head. Okay, I was looking for something. That's them here. Okay, so this is her and that video. It's a short video. I think it's not even a minute. All right, so let's go back to YouTube. All right, so she's talking about how he confronted her. All right.
But I'll tell you that one day we were working, it was third season, he knocked on my trailer, he opened my door. We had not kissed or anything off screen. And he said, you know we're going to be married with 2 kids one day.
Oh, I love, okay.
And then I was like, okay. Wow. But I'll tell you.
Okay, I love her eyes. And if you, I'll put the link of this in the description, and you could go and read some of the comments where other people's talking about how they met their husband and things like that. Okay, so I thought that was nice to share. I'm sorry I cannot show it like this. I pause it now, but while it's playing, I just had to put screenshots. Okay, so this is my last tweet. Is a prayer from one of the squads. Okay. There's that here. Prayer for Has, Meg, Archie, Lily, and Miss Doria. Lord, thank you for a new day. Please protect, bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, Diana, and Miss Doria and their supporters. Destroy all wicked plans against Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, Diana, and Miss Doria. Destroy their enemies. Bless all their projects. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so that's them here. This is Psalm 140. Oh Lord, rescue me from evil people. Protect me from those who are violent, those who plot evil in their hearts and stir up trouble all day long. Listen, O Lord, to my cries for mercy. Don't let liars prosper here in our land. Surely righteous people are praising your name. The godly will live in your presence. Okay, so that's that. I'm sorry for those who said that they don't want to hear politics. I'm sorry. I'm all about almost everything. But for some reason, Harry and Meghan's topics take over because now that I see the good that they're doing. But pretty much, I was not supposed to talk about them. I was pretty much there to talk about politics. Okay? So I might as well shine lights on some good things that I come across by accident. Okay, amen, amen, amen. Okay, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share if you want to support this channel. I don't plan on putting it on this channel. It's gonna be on Team Sussex. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so some part of this recording is going to be on our part of Pure Service because I was talking about some of the work that Harry and Meghan will be doing with Colombia. So that is going to be on our part of Pure Service. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Savanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better